Okay, so this deep dive is powered by Growth Suite. Growth Suite helps you run smart discount campaigns on your store. You can test it for free on your Shopify store. Just land on the Shopify App Store now and test it for free. Welcome, everyone, to the Deep Dive. This is where we try to cut through the noise and bring you the really impactful stuff from sources you care about.
Yep.
Today, we're jumping into something that's maybe less about just looking pretty and, well, more about getting actual results.
Right.
The psychology of color. Specifically, how it applies when you're designing your Shopify store for conversions.
Exactly. We've been digging into this really great source, an article called The Psychology of Color in Shopify Store Design, the Conversion Bible. And it really lays out just how vital color is.
It absolutely does.
Yeah.
I mean, those numbers right near the beginning, they really make you stop and think. The source points out that color can boost brand recognition by up to 80%.
80%, that's huge.
Yeah, just from your color choices. And listen to this. 85% of shoppers actually said color influences their buying decisions.
Wow.
So that's not just some small factor, is it? It's like foundational.
It really tells you color is, well, it's way more than just decoration. It's a powerful communication tool. It speaks, directly to your customer's subconscious.
Exactly. So our mission here in this deep dive is basically to unpack what the Conversion Bible and other sources shared and figure out how you can strategically pick and use colors. Colors that don't just reflect your brand, but actually actively work to turn those visitors into buyers.
Yeah, we'll look at why color affects us in the first place, then how to apply that thinking strategically on your store.
Okay.
We'll touch on, who you're trying to reach with your colors, maybe glance at some real-world examples.
Good idea.
To get a little bit technical on how to actually implement it, look at testing, and even peek at what might be coming next.
Okay, sounds good. Let's start right at the basics then. Why?
Yeah.
Why does looking at a certain color make me feel a certain way? What's the science bit?
Well, it's fascinating. It's both biological and psychological, really.
Yeah.
When light hits our eyes, right, it triggers these photoreceptors, which send signals up to the brain. The brain then processes these wavelengths as the colors we see. But here's the key part. It also taps into these deeply ingrained associations we have with those colors.
Ah, okay.
And these associations aren't just things we learn, like red means stop. Some seem almost hardwired, linked to survival maybe, or just fundamental human experiences.
So it's not just that I think red is a pretty color. My brain is actually doing something specific, something almost automatic when it sees red.
Precisely. The sources really emphasize this color can kind of bypass our rational thinking and talk directly to our emotions.
Wow.
It can influence mood, our energy levels, even how we perceive value. And that immediate emotional hit, that's the core of color psychology and marketing.
Okay, that makes sense. Our brains are looking for shortcuts.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what are some of the main emotional shortcuts or associations that colors trigger, especially thinking about, a shopping environment?
Well, the sources highlight some really powerful ones. Warm colors, think reds, oranges, yellows. They tend to be high energy.
Right.
Red is often linked with urgency, excitement, maybe even impulse buys. Think about sale signs, or like you mentioned, those bright buy now buttons. It's designed to trigger a quick response.
To get you to act fast.
Exactly. Orange feels a bit more friendly, maybe creative. Sometimes it signals affordability too. Yellow is great for grabbing attention instantly, projects positivity, optimism.
I always notice fast food places use a lot of those warm colors.
Right. High energy, quick decisions. It fits their model perfectly.
Yeah.
Then on the cooler side, you've got your blues and greens. Blue is very heavily linked with trust, security, reliability.
Okay.
That's why you see it so much in banking, tech, professional services, anywhere you need to build that feeling of safety and stability.
Makes sense.
Green, well, obviously it connects to nature, health, growth, sustainability. It's like kind of the default for organic products or any eco-conscious brand, really.
So if I'm selling, say, natural skincare,
Yeah.
green is almost a must-have to make that immediate connection.
It creates that instant relevant association, yeah. Purple often comes across as luxurious, creative, sometimes a bit whimsical. And then your neutrals, black, white, gray, they're more about sophistication, simplicity, power, or balance. Brown feels earthy, stable, dependable.
It really sounds like every single color is whispering its own little message to the customer.
It kind of is, yeah. And understanding those whispers, those emotional cues, that's the foundation for using color strategically on your store.
Okay, so we've got the basic psychology down.
Yeah.
How do we take these ideas, these emotional links, and turn them into actual design choices for a Shopify store? Choices that, actually help convert visitors.
Right, this is where the strategy comes in. And the absolute first step is making sure your colors actually match your brand's core identity. You wouldn't use the same palette for say, a playful kids' toy store as you would for a minimalist tech gadget shop.
No.
Definitely not.
Your colors have to tell the right story about who you are. It's about authenticity.
Authenticity, yeah.
And crucially, it's also about speaking to your specific target audience. Their age, maybe their cultural background, even industry expectations. These all influence how colors are perceived.
Ah, right.
You need a palette that resonates with the people you actually want to reach. Choosing colors that line up with both your brand and your audience helps you stand out and, importantly, build that connection.
So once I've kind of figured out my main brand colors, and maybe some complementary ones, where should I actually put them on my site to get the biggest impact?
Good question. The sources point to some key areas.
Yeah.
Your header, for instance, that's prime real estate for instant brand recognition.
Bang at the top. Use your core colors there, but, keep it clean, keep it readable. On product pages, the background should probably be neutral white, light gray. Keep the focus squarely on the product image itself.
Makes sense.
You can use accent colors more subtly here, perhaps for highlighting important details or features.
And what about those all-important call to action buttons? The add to cart, buy now, that kind of thing.
Ah, yes. Critical for conversions. These buttons absolutely have to pop.
Stand out.
Yes. Use a color that contrasts really strongly with the elements around it. This makes them basically unmissable and guides the user towards that action you want them to take.
Like maybe a bright orange button on a page that uses a lot of blues and greens.
Exactly that kind of contrast. And while we're talking text and backgrounds, readability is just non-negotiable.
Oh, definitely.
You've got to ensure there's enough contrast between your text color and the background color. It prevents eye strain and, crucially, makes your content accessible for everyone.
Yeah, nothing makes me click away faster than squinting to read something.
Absolutely. As customers get closer to the checkout, maybe think about using calming colors. Blue or green on the shopping cart page or the checkout pages themselves can help foster that sense of security and trust.
Interesting.
Might even help reduce cart abandonment right at that critical point. And then the footer, with less urgent info like contact links and stuff, probably best kept understated, maybe neutral tones.
So it's not just picking the colors, it's where you place them strategically.
Yeah.
Based on what you want that part of the page to do.
Exactly. It's function-driven.
What about overall color schemes? Are there, standard approaches or palettes that tend to work well?
Yeah, the sources mention a few common ones. A monochromatic scheme, for example, uses different shades and tints of just one single color.
Okay.
Creates a very sophisticated, harmonious look, very clean, very focused.
Right.
Then you have complementary schemes, these pair colors that are directly opposite each other on the color wheel, like red and green or blue and orange.
I'll contrast.
Exactly. Creates high contrast, lots of energy. Great for making specific things like buttons really stand out.
Okay.
Analogous schemes use colors that sit next to each other on the color wheel. Think greens and blues together. This usually gives a sense of harmony, calm, often seen in nature-inspired palettes.
So the feeling is kind of built into the combination itself.
Pretty much. And then there's the neutral with accents approach, which is super popular in e-commerce.
Right.
You use a calm, neutral background, whites, grays, maybe black, and then you strategically deploy vibrant accent colors to highlight the really key areas.
Like buttons, headlines?
Buttons, headlines, sale banners, exactly. It's really versatile and very effective at directing the user's eye where you want it to go.
That makes a ton of sense for an online store. You want the products to shine against a quiet background, but the calls to action need to shout a bit.
It works really well for guiding that customer journey, yeah.
We touched on the audience earlier, but just how much do things like age or gender or even culture really impact color choices? Is it significant?
Oh, it's definitely significant. Ignoring these factors can lead to a real disconnect. Younger audiences, for instance, often respond better to brighter, more vibrant colors, sometimes even neons.
Okay.
As people get older, preferences often shift towards maybe more muted, traditional, or sophisticated palettes. So knowing the general age range of your core customers is pretty key.
So the color energy needs to kind of match the customer's energy, in a way.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And while those classic gender stereotypes around color pink for girls, blue for boys are thankfully fading,
Right.
it's still worth noting that some general trends might exist, but relying too heavily on them can feel really dated pretty quickly.
Sure.
Honestly, many brands now are succeeding by using universally appealing colors, blues, greens, or neutral palettes that just resonate broadly across different gender identities. The main thing is to avoid making assumptions. Focus on broad appeal if your audience is diverse.
That definitely feels like the smarter approach today. And what about culture? I've heard that color meanings can be completely different, even opposite in different parts of the world.
Oh, absolutely critical, especially if you're selling internationally. A color that means good luck or celebration in one culture might actually symbolize mourning or danger in another.
Wow. Okay.
Red is the classic example, isn't it? It's lucky in many East Asian cultures, but often signals caution or danger in Western contexts. White can mean purity in the West, but it's linked to mourning in some Eastern cultures.
Right.
You absolutely have to research the cultural connotations of your chosen colors in your main target markets. Otherwise, you risk alienating customers or, worse, causing unintended offense.
That's a massive point for anyone with global ambitions. It's not just about what you like, it's about respect and understanding your customer's context.
Precisely. It's about blending that universal psychology we talked about with very specific audience and cultural awareness.
Seeing how actual brands pull this off probably helps tie it all together.
Yeah.
Did the sources mention any specific examples of companies using color effectively?
Yeah, the Conversion Bible article touched on a few good ones.
Right.
Luxury brands, for example, are often masters of using really limited high-contrast palettes.
Like black and white.
Black, white, gold, silver, yeah. That scarcity of color, combined with those sophisticated tones, it just communicates exclusivity, high value.
Right.
A luxury watch store, for instance, might use deep blacks and metallic accents across their site to really evoke that feeling of prestige.
It just looks expensive even before you see the prices.
Exactly. And then on the other end of the spectrum, brands targeting younger folks, or maybe fun, niche markets, often embrace bright, energetic colors.
Okay.
Tactical Baby Gear was mentioned as a brand that updated their site using bolder colors and stronger contrast.
Yeah.
It created this playful yet reliable feel that really clicked with their audience modern parents.
Tactical Baby Gear.
Mm-hmm.
That's quite a name. And yeah, bold colors sound like they'd fit that market well.
Yeah, it showed how breaking away from convention, using bold color, can actually build really strong brand loyalty.
Interesting.
Eco-friendly and natural brands, as we sort of discussed, reliably use green, often paired with earthy browns and tans. That palette instantly signals their core values and the nature of their products, builds trust with shoppers who care about the environment.
It's like visual shorthand for their whole mission statement.
Exactly. And for tech or innovation brands, blues and grays are very common. Blue projects that reliability, stability,
Great for us.
while gray feels modern, sleek, sophisticated. That combination positions them as both trustworthy and cutting edge.
So color isn't just about the look and feel in a superficial way. It's actively building these subconscious links with traits like trustworthiness or quality or the brand's personality.
Absolutely. It's setting expectations before the customer even reads a single word of your product description.
Okay, we've covered the why colors work and where to use them strategically. Now let's get practical. What are the actual technical steps for implementing these color strategies on a Shopify store?
Right, the how. Well, it really starts with your theme choice. Shopify themes can vary a lot in how much control they actually give you over colors.
Good point.
So when you're picking a theme, whether it's free or paid, look for one that offers flexible color settings. You want easy options to change colors for headers, footers, backgrounds, definitely button colors, and typography too. A really rigid theme will just make it hard to apply your strategy.
Yeah, the theme shouldn't fight you on your design vision.
Exactly. Then there's consistency. Once you've decided on your palette, you need to use it consistently everywhere.
Everywhere.
Your website, yes, but also your social media profiles, your email marketing, even your product packaging if you have it. Seeing the same core colors across all these touch points builds that instant brand recognition and makes you look professional.
Okay, that seems pretty non-negotiable for building a recognizable brand.
Totally. And finally, there are technical things like accessibility that are really vital. Not everyone sees color in the same way.
Right, color blindness and things like that.
Exactly. Following the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, or WCAG, helps ensure that your text and interactive elements have enough color contrast. This makes your store usable for visitors who might have color vision deficiencies.
That's a really important ethical point, but also practical. You don't want your design to literally exclude potential customers.
Precisely. Oh, and also test your colors on different devices and browsers.
Oh, yeah.
Colors can sometimes render slightly differently, so just check how your palette looks on desktops, tablets, phones. And be aware of the different color formats. HEX codes are standard for the web, but you might need to understand RGB and CMYK if you're doing physical branding stuff too.
Okay, so practical steps. Choose a flexible theme, be super consistent, and always test for accessibility and how it looks across different devices.
Got it. Once the colors are actually live on the site, how do I know if they're working, if they're actually helping conversions? Yeah, great question. This is where testing and optimization become crucial. The sources really highlight A/B testing as being incredibly powerful for color decisions.
The split testing.
Exactly. You create two versions of a page, or maybe just an element, say, the same product page, but one version has a green Add to Cart button, and the other has an orange one.
Yeah, okay.
You show each version to a different segment of your audience, and then you track which one performs better on the key metrics you care about.
That takes the guesswork right out of it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The data tells you what's actually working with your audience.
Absolutely. And the key metrics to track are pretty straightforward. Obviously, conversion rate, are more people buying?
The big one.
Click-through rates, especially on your CTAs. Time on page. Bounce rate, is the site visually engaging enough to keep people around? You can also use tools like heat maps.
Oh, yeah, those are cool.
They show you where users are actually clicking or hovering their mouse. It helps you see if people are interacting with those colored elements the way you expect them to. Like, is that bright button actually drawing the eye?
Right. You can visually confirm if your strategy is working.
Precisely. And don't forget qualitative feedback. Asking customers directly through surveys or just monitoring reviews can give you insights into how your colors make them feel, or if maybe something is confusing.
So combine the hard numbers with some human feedback.
Right. And, importantly, this isn't a set it and forget it kind of thing. Color preferences change, design trends evolve, continuous optimization is really needed. Some stores might tweak accent colors seasonally, others make small adjustments based purely on performance data. Testing periodically just keeps your palette fresh and effective.
So it sounds like it's less about finding the one single perfect color scheme forever and more about finding what works best for your specific audience right now and being ready to adapt as things change.
That's a fantastic way to put it. It's really a continuous cycle. Observe, test, learn, adjust.
Are there any sort of more advanced ways color can be used beyond just making things look nice or signaling trust or urgency?
Oh, definitely. Color can subtly influence how customers perceive value or price points.
Really? How?
Well, using more muted, deeper tones like navy, burgundy, black, maybe metallics like gold or silver can make products feel more high-end, more luxurious.
Okay.
Whereas bright, really energetic colors can sometimes feel more accessible, or they can signal value, promotions, sales. So you can actually use color to subtly guide price perception.
So maybe a sale item gets a vibrant yellow banner, while the premium product image has a really minimalist, maybe dark gray background.
Exactly that kind of thing. Color also plays a role in navigation, especially if you have a big product catalog.
How so?
Using consistent color-coded badges or labels for different categories like new arrivals, sale, best sellers can help customers quickly scan the page and find what they're looking for. Just improves the user experience.
Like putting little colored tags on the corner of product images. That seems pretty simple, but could be really effective.
It guides the eye and definitely speeds up browsing.
Right.
Also, just the consistent combination of colors creates powerful psychological triggers over time.
Right.
High contrast accent colors grab that immediate attention for actions you want them to take, while having a cohesive, consistent overall palette builds trust and just makes the whole shopping experience feel more reliable and professional.
Okay, that definitely takes the color strategy up a notch. What about the future? Any ideas on how color psychology might evolve in e-commerce down the line?
It's certainly evolving. We're already seeing some experimentation with dynamic colors, colors that might change based on user behavior, maybe time of day, trying to personalize the experience more.
Interesting.
Augmented reality, AR, and virtual reality, VR, are also starting to play a role, enabling customers to visualize products like furniture or clothing or paint in different colors right in their own space before they buy. That's huge for reducing uncertainty.
Oh yeah, being able to see that sofa color in my living room before I commit, that would definitely boost purchase confidence.
Totally enhances that connection and reduces returns. And of course, consumer preferences themselves will keep shifting. They're influenced by global trends, social movements, new technologies.
Right.
So staying attuned to those evolving tastes, especially among younger generations who might favor more boldness or perhaps unique, unexpected palettes, that's going to be important.
And I guess AI is going to have a big part to play here too.
Oh, absolutely. AI can analyze just vast amounts of user data in real time to figure out which colors resonate best with specific customer segments.
Wow.
It could potentially predict emerging color trends, automate A/B testing on a massive scale, maybe even suggest palette adjustments automatically for continuous optimization, all without needing constant manual effort.
So AI could potentially take a lot of the guesswork out of finding that perfect color mix for different parts of your audience or different contexts.
It definitely offers the potential for incredibly powerful data-driven insights to inform all those color choices.
This has been, wow, a really insightful deep dive.
Yeah.
For someone listening right now who's running a Shopify store, what's maybe the most actionable first step they could take to start applying some of these principles?
Yeah, good question. Based on the sources, I think a great starting point is just a simple DIY audit of your own store.
Oh.
Just look critically at your pages. Does your current color scheme feel consistent? What kind of emotional tone is it giving off right now? And does that tone actually match your brand identity and who you're trying to reach?
Right.
You can even use free online tools. There are loads of color scheme generators, contrast checkers, just to explore some options and check basic accessibility.
A self-assessment first. That
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. Get a baseline.
Exactly. And if you happen to work with designers or developers, be really clear about your goals based on this color psychology stuff. Don't just say, make it look good.
Right.
Explain why you want blue on the checkout page to convey trust. Or explain that button color X is outperforming color Y in your tests. Give them clear strategic guidelines, not just vague aesthetic preferences.
Give them the strategy behind the request. Yeah.
And look, if you're on a tight budget, don't feel like you have to redo everything at once. You can make really impactful changes just by starting with a few key areas.
Like where?
Your header, maybe, your footer for consistency, and especially focus on those call to action buttons. Even just A/B testing a different color on your main Add to Cart button can sometimes yield surprising results. Start small, measure the impact, and then expand as you see what works for your store.
That feels really achievable for pretty much any store owner, doesn't it? Focus on the high-impact spots first.
Exactly. It's all about making thoughtful, data-informed choices, no matter the size of your budget or team.
Wow. Okay, we have covered so much ground here. From the fundamental science of why color affects us, all the way through strategic application on a Shopify store, thinking about the audience, the practical implementation, testing, even advanced tactics, and looking towards the future.
Yeah.
It's just incredibly clear, isn't it? Color is so much more than just a simple aesthetic choice for your online store.
It absolutely is. It's a really powerful psychological tool that directly influences feelings, it builds crucial trust, and it has a direct impact on whether someone actually decides to buy from you or clicks away.
So by thoughtfully combining your brand's unique style with these kinds of psychological principles, you really can create a visual experience that doesn't just stand out from the crowd, but one that actively guides your customers smoothly towards making that purchase.
And it's worth remembering, as the market changes, as your audience evolves, staying curious, continuing to test your color choices, and just being willing to adapt, that's really going to be key for sustained success and growth.
So maybe here's a final thought for you listening to consider. Think about your store's color strategy, not as a one-time decision you made back when you launched, but more as a continuous, ongoing process. A process of observation, making small strategic changes, testing and learning, all of which can make a really significant difference to your store's growth over time. And remember, this deep dive was powered by Growth Suite. Growth Suite helps you to run smart discount campaigns on your store. Test it for free on your Shopify store. Just land on the Shopify App Store now and test it for free.